Well, the Santa Fe Children's Museum has recently just pulled through what would have and could have been a crippling economic environment, and a lot of its current stable situation is due to one woman, and she is here with us this morning, the executive director, lovely Miss Shannon Roberts. Good morning, Shannon. It's good to see you. Well, first of all, we love your museum, and you have Cornelius. How's Cornelius doing? Let's talk about Cornelius before we talk about you and how long you've been at the museum and what you've done there. Cornelius, is he a python or a rat snake?
He's a corn snake.
He's a corn snake, hence the name Cornelius.
And he just shed yesterday.
Oh, cool.
So he is taking a little relaxing break, so he couldn't join us this morning. But
that's too bad. Next time you come on down.
Next time, Cornelius.
Okay, let's do that. Now, you've joined the museum about a year and a half ago.
Correct.
What was the state of it when you got there?
You know, there was the community pulled together and really saved the museum. We had corporate, individual, foundations all came together and said this institution is important to Santa Fe, to the families of Santa Fe. So we want to make sure it's still there. When I arrived, there was a lot of expectation, a lot of excitement, but you know, those expectations of, all right, now you got to take the next step.
Sure.
And so that was really where I joined.
Okay, well, let's go back in time for a little bit. So even before you got there, and before the community stepped in to really help do a lot too, why did it get into such a bad position?
Like a lot of nonprofits during the economic downturn, you know, things I think happened over time, and donor ideas changed, or there just wasn't as much donor money out there. And that's what happens when you rely heavily on a donor income and other sources of income instead of your own earned revenue, which is one of the changes that we've made.
Okay, so how have you been able to change that instead of, saying we have to rely on donors to be solvent here? What other ways are you getting money, and how are you able to fix that?
Well, one of the things that's a best practice is a 60-40 split. 60% of the revenue, our goal, is earned revenue. So that's admissions that come in, that's our memberships, our rentals. We have fabulous birthday parties, which includes Cornelius.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So, you know, it's looking at those streams so you make sure that you're not reliant on contributed income.
Okay, you have a big fundraiser coming up, something else to help the museum. What's going on with this?
Yes, well, one of the major reasons that the museum is in such a stable place is that Hutton Broadcasting, based in Santa Fe, they stepped in during the fundraiser and literally camped in the museum until they raised a financial goal, which was over $75,000.
Wow.
They have remained really friendly and incredibly supportive of the museum, and so they're doing it again. So November 12th, 13th, and 14th, they're doing a fundraiser for us. It's an auction. They're actually coming back to the museum, and they're going to be hanging out with us all day long. Community members, corporate sponsors, everyone has been giving these wonderful different things for auction. So for example, one of our favorite hotels, La Fonda, gave us a wonderful weekend package, and we're selling that for 50% of value. So
50% of what it usually costs to stay at La Fonda, right on the plaza.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I mean, restaurants, artists have been stopping by and bringing things. I mean, the community vibe is pretty amazing, and we have other media sponsors who've been really out there talking to the community. So we have people walking in literally saying, you know, I want to be a part of this. And what
That's
a great community to live in, where you have people that just join right in and support.
Yeah, I think you've probably known in the year and a half that you've lived here, Santa Fe is a pretty special place.
Very
There's some
special.
great people up there. One of the reasons I love your museum, we've had it on the show before, is just stuff for kids, like hands-on activities. It's not this museum where you have to go and look at, not that it's a bad thing, but really expensive art on a wall and you can't touch it.
Right.
You're a very hands-on kind of place.
It. Yes.
Yeah. So what kind of cool stuff do you have for kids coming
messy.
up?
You know, one of the great things we have is next week. It's a Halloween alternative, although a lot of people go to our event and then go out and trick-or-treat or do other things. It's called Weird Science. Weird Science is a little bit messy. We do lots of really crazy experiments. We also have a group called Wise Fool, which is a circus group that trains kids in the circus arts, and they'll be there on stilts. They'll be doing performances. And so it's a combination of all of these fun activities and get really messy with some science.
Are you going to try to do some stilt walking?
I'm not, but I may or may not be wearing a costume.
Okay, very fun. And so I take it on Friday, October 31st from 4 to 7. It's just $5.50 to get in. There's a discount, I'm told, if you wear a costume. That's right?
Absolutely, yes. And we have a costume parade at the end of the evening.
Costume parade. You have candy?
We don't have candy, but we have other prizes.
You have other prizes.
Yes,
Dennis
yes.
will love you.
Yes.
Okay, Shannon Roberts, thank you so much. It's good to
Thank
see you. Good
you.
job with the museum. It's one of our favorite places around town.
Perfect.
All right,
Thank
come back
you.
soon. Day 27. And by the way, if you want to find out more about the museum, head to our website at krqe.com. Click on links. We'll be right back.